Hello again, this is Bob Morin,
And Mary Ann Morin,
and this is the More Stuff Show.
the More Stuff
The
Show.
More Stuff Show.
Yes, indeed.
I guess that's equality now. Used to be the More Stuff from Bob Morin Show.
Oh, did it? Oh.
Yeah, but things got renegotiated.
Oh, did we ever change that?
And now we decided, through a democratic process, that we would just call this the More Stuff Show.
It's shorter.
It's shorter,
A little
yeah.
bit shorter.
If it were the More Stuff from Bob Morin and Mary Ann Morin show, it'd be too long.
Right. Somebody would take us right off the air for the long name that is. Yes, not good.
Well, I don't have anything to talk about. I was going to prepare. I really was going to prepare something today. I had an idea of going through some back issues of Time magazine or Wired magazine, and
Good stuff there. Yeah. But you didn't.
no, I didn't. I was all ready to, because there are nice things to talk about. Now you have something.
Well, I have a question for you
You have
first.
a question.
Okay, here's the question.
All right.
There's a company, big time company in Corning.
There's a big company. Wait a minute.
Yeah. You're going to
Big company in Corning. Let me guess the name of the company.
what is it?
It's really big?
Yes. Pretty big.
Oh, probably they call it Corning something.
Corning Inc.
Corning Inc.
Corning
they
INC. for incorporated.
INC.
Okay, then there's a bunch of other companies, and I know you're a stock watcher. So I want to know how other stocks relate to Corning and what's Corning doing. I have a reason for this. So,
You have a reason for this.
yes, first explain.
Explain. What do you mean?
What companies,
Explain.
one company is not alone on a desert island. They
Oh,
all interconnect, and in this day and age, Corning's up to some interesting things, but they have to involve themselves with other companies. They become like partners.
yes.
So who are some of their
Companies depend on other companies.
partners? Yeah.
Well, Corning makes several things. They make fiber optics.
Oh yeah.
These are wires,
Uh-huh.
glass wires
You mean like in the
in the
photonics, like that?
photonics.
Is that
No, don't talk about photonics.
Okay, we don't.
Photonics is something you're not supposed to talk about anymore.
Okay, so that's out.
It was a bad idea.
Yes, and Corning was into that, but now they're not. Is that right?
Corning was into photonics. Yes,
Photonics.
Corning sold a lot of their photonics things.
Okay. So now, what is saving Corning right now? What are they doing? And
Well, you
who are
changed the
they
subject
partners?
already. You already changed the subject.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
You go ahead.
I want to hear about
Well, about what? What do you want me to talk about?
the business that Corning is into and their business partners.
Why do you pick something like that? Why? Why am I blindsided today? I'm on a television. Bob is now going to give a talk about Corning Corporate, Corning Inc., as you said.
Yes.
Do you know what Inc. means?
I think it means incorporated.
Incorporated. Okay, well that's good. But you want me to give a talk about Corning Incorporated
Yes.
and the different products they're into?
Well, how they depend on other companies or other companies depend on them.
Do you want to hear about this? Are you interested in Corning Incorporated?
Maybe. Hey, they're interested in what I'm interested
All right, all right. Corning Incorporated makes generally three different. Well, they used to make dishes.
in. Yeah,
You know.
dishes, wonderful dishes.
Yeah. Well, that's
I like their dishes.
not such a thing anymore.
Everybody already has dishes.
It's a has-been thing, Corning dishes.
Okay.
But the big product is fiber optics, which is wires that connect all the internet stuff.
Okay.
That's pretty simple to say.
Okay.
And the fiber optics are very fast. That is, the information can go through a fiber optic wire a lot faster than it can through the old-fashioned copper wires.
Okay.
So all over the world, people are changing from copper wires to fiber optic wires for the internet stuff.
Which is big.
Which is what?
Big.
Big, yes.
Big business now, the
Yeah,
internet.
yeah. Fast is good anymore.
Especially because it's going now all over the world. No, countries that didn't have the internet before.
The internet
or
is going
computers,
all over the world,
they're,
yes.
Yeah, they're growing and growing that
Yes.
business. That's good news.
So that's, I don't know if I explained fiber optics. It's a kind of a wire.
It's kind of a wire.
It's glass.
Glass instead of copper.
Yeah, and
Very
data goes through, or information goes through it a lot faster, and you get more through it than you can with copper wires. So everybody's switching over to this
Oh.
fiber optic stuff.
Okay. And that's good news for our local people?
It's good news. Now, they made too much of it a couple years ago.
Yeah.
They overexpanded.
Uh-huh.
But now the economy's picking up, and the telephone companies that buy the wire. So you got to sell the wire to somebody.
Okay.
Pretty much you sell to the telephone companies. And the telephone companies, when their business starts going, they're going to buy more fiber optic wire.
Well, now, are you talking about telephone companies that are into cell phones?
Yeah,
And they need wire?
yeah. Even wireless needs wire.
Yeah, oh.
That, I don't want to explain that. That gets complicated.
yeah.
Why would wireless need wires? Well, they do.
Well, I was at the mall yesterday, and just practically everybody
Well, wait a minute. You're changing the
using
subject.
wireless telephone.
Did you ask me a question a little while ago or not?
Yes, I did. Go ahead.
You asked me a question. What is Corning Glass into?
All right, continue on. This is a good thing so far.
It seems you were satisfied with that answer.
So far, so good.
Do you want me to continue?
Just what other companies are involved? You mentioned telephone companies.
Wait a minute. I'm not talking about the customers,
Okay.
Corning's customers yet. I'm talking about the things, I started talking about the things the Corning makes.
All right.
You know, the companies produce things. One of the things the Corning Incorporated, Corning Inc. produces is fiber optics.
Okay. One thing.
Another thing they make is the glass for the new kind of flat screen televisions.
Ooh, big.
They call them LCDs.
Yes.
Now LCD is a complicated thing. I don't have to. I don't
You
know
don't
too
need
much
to know
about
that,
it.
no.
They're called liquid crystal displays.
LCD.
They're flat. They're flat TVs. You can buy them in the stores for these new televisions with these LCD screens on them.
Yeah.
You can buy them. They're big, 36 inches, 42 inches, 45 inches, 48, 56 inches screen.
A lot of
big,
people
huge
here
television
I
screen.
see that people have those. Yeah.
What?
People do have those.
You buy them, but you got to be rich to buy
Oh,
them.
big bucks now.
$3, $4, $5,000 for one of these LCD screens. They're pretty big. But the rich people all over the world are buying them now.
People have them.
And the prices go down on those things. And pretty soon, a few years, everybody's going to have them. Because television is changing. The signal the television is giving out is changing. Because that standard, the television standard that we see on TV today now was established in 1953.
Right, when we were kids.
That was 49 years
We
ago.
were alive in
more
that
than
time.
50 years ago.
Well,
So there's a new standard going to come out, and they call it the high definition television.
oh, okay. Is that?
I don't want to get too
we don't want to
complicated.
get too complicated, but yeah.
But anyway, Corning Glass is
Good
making
product.
these new television screens. They make the glass part. They don't make the television part.
Just the outside covering, outside edges.
Well, the screen.
the screen.
They don't make the wires that go inside these
Okay.
new TVs.
Is it that the same thing that's on these new computers now? The flat
Yeah,
screen monitors on
Yeah.
computers.
yeah, pretty much the computer. Now, if you watch something on a computer, it's a lot crisper, a lot nicer than something on TV. TV, if you're working on a computer for a long time and then you start looking at a TV, the TV looks blurry. It's not as sharp or as crisp. So these new LCD screens are a lot nicer than the old kind of television screens that we use.
Great.
Okay, so that's the second thing. This is going to be a long lecture now.
Oh well.
All right, so the first thing the Corning Glass makes is the fiber optics. The second thing they make is these LCD screens. And the third thing is this new, it's like a catalytic converter
For cars and trucks? or
Well, for
whatever?
trucks, for diesel engines.
Oh, okay. Oh.
In our cars now, we have a catalytic converter which kind of purifies the air that comes out of the car.
Yes.
Well, they need something now for trucks, these big trucks that use diesel. So Corning
sure
has a
do.
product that can take care of that.
And I heard that there's a new law in the nation that says trucks must convert to this.
Yeah.
So this could be a good business too.
Yeah. Now, why did you ask me all that about Corning?
Well, Corning, when I go places and people say, "Where do you live?" I say, "I live near Corning," and they think dishes.
Well, for a long time, that was
That's
the
all
number
there
one
was.
product of Corning was dishes. But that, I don't want to,
And I think most people who live around here, we
use
read it
Corning.
in the Star Gazette. There's been a lot of coverage lately about Corning, and it's making money or not making money, and also world famous in this area is that a lot of people were working for Corning and got laid off.
Well, that's the photonics mistake.
That's right.
Well, and also they made too much
They made
fiber
too much
optic.
of it.
Now, that's not Corning's fault.
Right.
What happened is the telephone companies, and whose fault is it? It gets into these big companies like WorldCom. I don't want to get into it. The big companies did something wrong, so the littler companies, littler telephone companies, and people like Corning overproduced.
Ah,
So and it caused a big depression.
and for a while there.
The Big Depression we're just
Yeah.
getting out of, people being laid off and everything. Well, that's not Corning's fault. But they did overproduce because they got too many orders that the telephone companies essentially didn't need after a while. You order something you don't need, so you get a surplus of everything. And I don't want to talk about
Well,
this.
yeah. The reason I'm asking is, I'm getting near to retirement now. I'm looking for some place that I want to invest
Oh, I
to
thought you
save
said
savings of money.
Well,
and there's this new
kind of late. If you're
504B or something like
Yeah,
that.
but you should have been doing this when you were 20 years old.
Well, I didn't. Instead, I had children. What are you going to have, investments or children? I invested in children.
Yeah, what do you want to do? Be rich or have kids?
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, I was looking at Corning, and the woman I talked to when I signed up for this savings plan told me that Corning was an excellent company, and they rolled with the punches, and they kept going, and they kept investing in new things. They didn't just try to hold on to what was old and keep it going. And
Right. You got to get rid of the stuff that's old.
yeah, get rid of it.
And the
then
dishes are
start new.
fine, and they're still good dishes, but they don't make a lot of money for you.
So they keep getting into new businesses, she said. So I'm just checking that out. It might be,
Corning, yeah, new
good company.
businesses.
yeah. And I'm proud to live near Corning. We live in the great area. We have a lot of good stuff all around us.
I never think of
And we
Corning.
never appreciate it.
I don't think about Corning almost ever. I got enough to do in Watkins Glen. Corning is it's almost 20 miles away from here.
30 minutes.
And when I never go. You go to the movies in Corning?
No,
I don't go to
never.
movies in
I've never
Corning.
been to the movies in Corning.
Yes, you did.
Did I?
I took you a couple times.
Can't
I
remember.
say we went a couple times a few years ago. We go to the mall.
I know I went ice skating in Corning once.
Yeah, see?
Yes,
Well,
I
I'll go
did.
Corning a little
All right.
bit, but I don't. Just not.
Well, I knew you were knowledgeable about things, so I thought you should
Yeah, but that's
let us
boring
know.
stuff.
I tell you.
Now you kind of spoil the show. Use up all that time to talk about Corning.
Okay, I have a quick other thing that we can talk about. So we can add
Yeah,
sparkle.
but you dump the pressure on me, and I got to answer.
Okay, well, here, you can be quiet now.
I should be quiet
I'll
now?
give a little information on another subject.
Okay, all right.
Okay, for a long time, my pet peeve is, since I have arthritis in my hand,
Arthritis.
Yes.
Who's he?
he's mean old person, gets into your hands and bones and make them
Is
weak.
that like Peter Payne?
Peter Payne, yes, it is.
Charlie
So-
Horse?
Yes.
You
got
know all
them
these guys.
You know these guys. Ben Gay. They don't
Ben
talk
Gay?
about him much
Whoa.
anymore.
We don't talk about Ben Gay
Yeah.
anymore.
Don't ask, don't tell. Yes. Okay, so my pet peeve is that every time I get a water out, show you this water. Get this water out. These hands cannot open this bottle of water.
You can't open that bottle of water.
I say, please, can you open this bottle of water for me? And then somebody comes along at work, or even you, somebody opens it for me. Then, in addition to that pet peeve, which is big, because a lot of people like these little things of water, and if you can't drink them, it's bad.
So you want to talk about water now?
The other thing is, here's the bottle of pills.
Oh, you're
This
talking
is-
about arthritis.
This is what they tell you you must have, but they say to open, push down and
Push down and turn. Yeah, okay.
And you know, it defies, you've got arthritis, you cannot push down and turn with your hands, it hurts. So here we have the problems. For the person, the very person who needs these products, and they give you this problem. Well, somebody showed me an answer, and here it is. This is so cool. This little gizmo makes me an independent woman.
It's like a beer bottle opener.
I can stop being a baby, and I can open my own stuff.
Oh, yeah, all
I
right.
can do it all by myself.
It's like a wrench.
All right, so this gives somebody making a lot of money because they invented a solution to this problem.
Simple stuff makes big
It's
money.
plastic. It must cost them 90 cents to make this. Yet they sell it for $5. Okay, so what you do is just put this on the top and slide it until it's snug. And then you just pull. Wait, I didn't do it yet. You just. I know I can do it all by myself. Wait a minute. All right, turn. Yes. And voila. Very good. Isn't that just the most
That's
heavenly?
nice.
Isn't that great? And then the bottle of pills is, of course, different technology. Because not only do you have to turn, but you have to push
Have to
down.
push. You gotta push
So
to
I said,
open
well,
it.
you know, if it works for that, maybe it will. So I pushed it in here, but then you just kind of push on the top and turn. Right? I didn't get it on there. Get it there. Down and turn. Well, maybe it won't. It did earlier. Oh, it is. It is. Okay. There you go. You get that open.
Wonderful.
And that technology and engineering and simple idea that somebody invented solves my problem.
Well, that's wonderful.
Yeah, there you go.
Do you have anything else prepared you want to talk about?
So far, I thought that was good.
What's that paper over there?
Well, it's a list of some
list.
suggestions.
Go ahead. Go
Suggested
ahead. Go
topics.
over your list.
I don't know, how much time do we have else?
Well, if you have as much time as you want, my dear,
Oh.
I'll just sit here and listen to you.
Well, this is not for me to say. This is
It's not for you to
discussion.
say. Who else is going to say it?
Okay, we may have to go to another show for this. I mean, I'm not sure how much time we've got so far.
Go
Do we
ahead.
have time?
Go ahead.
So
Get it over with. Just talk fast.
voting is going to happen. We're going to have voting.
You're going to have voting? What do you
We're
call
gonna
it?
vote for the
word is-
Democratic
We're having an
caucus.
election
If
coming
you-
up.
if you were
Is
a
it a
Democrat-
primary?
Yes, there's a primary
All
coming
right,
up. I think it's
okay.
March 2nd.
You guys that get older, your vocabulary starts to slip.
March 2nd for Democrats. Okay? If you're a Democrat, you're going to be asked to go vote in the primary. So the question came up. If a person goes to the primary right off the street without thinking anything about a candidate, just, you know, without educating themselves about who
Well, like somebody who always votes for the Democrats no matter what? They don't even look up
all
their...
the people in the Democratic primary are going to be Democrats. So let's just talk about them first. Okay. I wish we could say that everybody who goes to vote for anything is well informed, but they're not. So I like to find out about people, and I'm informed. Okay. So I go into the voting booth with all my wealth of knowledge, and I vote for the person I think is going to be best. Why is that funny?
Oh, I'm sorry. Continue. Continue. I'm listening.
All right, now the person in back of me goes into the voting booth, and they only ever vote for blonde-haired, blue-eyed candidates.
So they haven't done a serious study of the candidate.
They like the pitch of the voice and the color of the eyes, and they vote for that person.
That's how women vote.
I don't know if it's women. I don't. Well, what would men go by?
Well,
How strong the guy is?
the men usually vote by the qualifications of the candidate.
Oh, good. Yeah,
Well, there's nothing wrong with voting for
So
somebody for
funny.
their looks.
so
If that's what you do, there's nothing wrong with it.
Some people vote against people because they look like nerds.
That's just what I'm saying. There's nothing wrong with that. If somebody looks like a nerd, you don't want to vote for him. Like Michael Dukakis.
Oh, now you're going to get yourself into trouble.
See, Michael
Naming
Dukakis,
names.
I don't know if you're old enough to remember Michael Dukakis, but nobody voted for him because he looked like a nerd. And his handlers couldn't do anything about it.
Well, you know, Stevenson had the same trouble against
Adlai,
Eisenhower.
see, a lot of Democrats are just too intellectual.
Yeah, I don't know.
They're not good looking like Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan, fantastic looks.
Well, Clinton, what about him? He was pretty good.
See,
looking, so they say.
he was good looks. Who votes for people because
And
they're qualified
Kennedy,
anymore?
Kennedy also
John
votes.
Kennedy, handsome man.
Yeah, but Nixon, how did he get it? I don't know.
Nixon,
I don't
well,
think he was
they
so
put
handsome.
powder on his face.
Uh-huh.
They put powder on his face to hide the beard, and he gets elected that way.
Well, what's my point? My
I don't
point
know.
is,
I have no idea.
when you're going to have an election, do you really want to get people out to vote? Do you really want to have a large number of people voting? Because once you get a small number of people are probably there because they're concerned, they're involved, and they've studied the candidates. But that small number of people will not elect the candidate once they get the big vote out and they get people going there who don't know anything at all.
But the non-thinkers just go in there and
And
cancel out the votes of those people who did a study of the voters' qualifications.
Is that possible?
Yes.
It-
That's
it's-
why during a campaign, they never talk about anything serious.
Oh,
It's all image and feelings. They try to get their vote on how you feel about things and how your image is and things. So if you want to learn about the candidates, you should have done it already, because you really have very little time, because all you're going to see now are just the feelings and impression kind of things. And the cliches, the sound bites, cliches and things. I don't want to talk anymore.
well, anyway, think about that. Think about that on election day. Go ahead.
Okay, that was a very
I don't
good
know
show.
whether, was it?
We're out of time. We're definitely out of time. Now, if you have any comments about this show,
Yes.
we have a not a
Email
website.
address.
We have an email address.
Email us.
TheMoreStuffShow@yahoo.com.
No, you need the in there? Yeah, you do.
TheMoreStuffShow@yahoo.com.
Yes, no
And
caps.
send your comments, and somebody might respond to you.
Well, if you know,
Are you going to respond?
maybe you could send us not just your comments, but something you'd like us to discuss. Then we can be thinking about it ahead of time.
Yeah, all right. Let us know what you want us to talk about.
Yeah.
And Mary Ann will prepare something.
I think we want to change the name of
Let's
the
stop
show.
talking.
Back to the problem.
Goodbye.
Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.
See you again next time.